1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight, I have Carl, George, Andy, and Mus, and we are the Monday Blues. Gentlemen, how are we feeling on the 10th of August, 2023, and the Blues are coming off 7 wins off the trot?
I was going to do the fucking horse thing.
7th heaven.
Mus, how you feeling, Mr. Horsey?
Right, good. A bit nervous this week. Actually, last week I was good, but a bit nervous. I don't know if the injuries are starting to get me a bit shaky.
Yeah, I feel that. Definitely. Andy, how about you?
Incredible. I'm so G'd for Saturday. It's not even funny, bro. I'm really, really G'd up.
It's exciting. The prospect of playing a top 2 team that is definitely in form as well is 100% exciting. George, what about you?
7th heaven, baby. What a week. Definitely keen. Look, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And I think, we've had a great run over this 7 weeks, and with a couple of, top, beating Port, beating Pies, beating Saints, who were 5th, arguably last week, obviously. So, to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And Melbourne are arguably, well, besides us, the informed team of the competition. So
100% besides us.
Very keen.
Absolutely. And Carl?
Very good. But I must say the nerves are kicking in today as we get closer, starting to get nervous. But all in all, we're all good.
That's good. Well,
how are you feeling, Amal?
Oh man, it's been a brilliant week. 7 off the trot. The media is fully on the Carlton train now. There's talks of flag favoritism, and we're playing top 4 footy and everything like that. And we're doing this with a bit of an injured list. Injuries are starting to stack up, so there's definitely excitement building now, for sure. And I feel like we've almost scared the rest of the competition a bit now that finals are around the corner. Now, we haven't sealed it just yet. We haven't sealed that, but let's. I'm hoping that once we get into the team lineup today, it will sort of show what I mean by we've kind of scared the competition. Anyway, without further ado, it is the game preview. The Carlton Blues are up against the Melbourne Demons on Saturday, the 12th of August, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. It's been moved because of the Matildas game, I believe. They've moved the game back by 5 minutes, but anyway, coming up against the D's at the G at 7:30 p.m. We'll go straight into the lineups. No changes for Carlton coming into this game with full confidence. Andy, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think the team needed any changes, or we should be okay with this team?
The only change I kind of not expected, but I would have understood was maybe Marchbank for Boyd.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to give Marchbank a run. You just have to. And what better way to give him a run than to put him up against, one of the best teams in the comp. So I think it's the first time in, honestly, probably years that we haven't had a change.
3.5 years.
Oh, there you go.
It was round 7, 2020 was the last time we went in unchanged. I think they wrote an article at the Carlton Posting about it. So, it's like we're just used to it, right? We're just used to the selection table drama on a Thursday night or a Friday. So, it's been a long time.
Yeah, thought so. I just, like George said, it's usually a big drama every week, like who's coming in, who's coming out, and it's nice. A bit of stability this time of year, especially. Fuck, can't ask for much better, man. I mean, it'd be sick to have Walsh and Chera back in, but mate, I like what we've done with this team right now. So no change means no fear.
Now, is the rest of the group feeling the same, or is there a bit of?
I am, Amal. I am. That's a good one. However, there's no one to bring in. Even if you wanted to make a change, who would you bring in?
No, I think Marchbank has probably stayed in because Grundy comes in, so you need that extra tall back. So I'm probably happy that they left him in, to be honest.
Yeah, that's actually That's a good call. That's a good call, and a perfect segue into the outs and ins for Melbourne. So going out of the team, and this one, these two are at the fairly big. So Harrison Petty is one big one. He's really cemented a place in Melbourne's forward line. Has played some really good footy over the last little while. James Harms out omitted, and Michael Hibberd, who was the sub last week, but coming in for Melbourne, Brodie Grundy and Clayton Oliver. Now, Clayton Oliver has had, what is it, hamstring issues or something like that? He's had soft tissue.
He's on the bags.
Hamstring.
He's been on the bags.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's the
Allegedly.
word. That's the one I was looking for.
Andy, say it,
Allegedly.
say it, Andy. Just say it to cover your ass. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Any legal teams, if you're watching, we've thrown that word in there.
He knew he was playing the baggers. That's why he got up for it.
Big time shots fired. Big time shots. Now, he, on all accounts, and the media are jumping on this as well, that he is, he could be underdone. So what is it because, Carlton's playing some seriously good footy at the moment, and that's why they've brought back in Brodie Grundy and Clayton Oliver, or is it because they're trying to get him ready for finals? What do you guys think?
Scared.
No, I reckon
they're petrified.
I reckon what you said, I reckon they're getting him ready for finals.
Scared.
Like, the Grundy setup hasn't really worked for them all year, right? So that experiment, that's going to be interesting because it's had a lot of media sort of scrutinization every time that they play together, or when Grundy gets dropped as well. And Gorn's a machine, like, what he's going to bring, right? But the Oliver is like in no VFL. It's been 11, 12 weeks, so potentially underdone. Look, I think he'll go really hard at the start. I think he's a contested beast, right? I think he'll absolutely impact the contest. But how does he fare in the third and the fourth when he's had no AFL minutes in 3 months, right? So, yeah.
I don't even think he gets that far, George. I think they're just bringing him in just to get some run in his legs at that sort of level. Probably you see him subbed out sort of around the half-time mark, maybe 10 minutes into the third or something like that.
Well,
regardless of what's happening in the game.
So I think
how important does TDK become now?
Very.
TDK becomes, in my opinion, the most important player on that ground on Saturday.
Why?
Because Gawn and Grundy, either one, Gawn's going to be the main ruck, and they're going to interchange in the forward line. TDK has to help Curnow out this week because May
in the forward line,
Lever, Lever, and then you got the two rucks, Gawn and Grundy. TDK becomes massive. We know what we're going to get from Pitternet. We know we're going to get tap outs, and that's about it.
Maybe.
So TDK has to have a huge game.
Yeah.
He has to hurt them on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and it looks like Cameron in the chat also agrees with you. Cameron Bayer reckons if there's any questions being asked of TDK, if TDK is the right fit for our club, this game will say a lot, along with Pitto as well. So there's people in the chat that also feel the same. Good call, Andy. Very, very good call.
I think, from the way I look at it, if you look at their strengths, right? So Melbourne, their ruck and their defense. So obviously, you got Gawn, you got May, you got Lever. I think Gawn will be running Pitto off his feet in the wet all night, right? He's just going to be going from point A to point B and trying to run Pitto off his legs. So TDK becomes important to try and hurt him other ways. So hopefully he can compete along with DeConning as well. But I think let's try and exploit other areas where we can really get on top as well, right? So I think the reverse fixture, Charlie had a bit of a hard day. Mackay was playing that night as well, right? So if you're going to play into their, that predictable style of just bombing it in, they're going to mop it up either or all day. So TDK, and then at that point of difference with the smalls, I think. So yeah, it'll be a very important matchup, I think, in the ruck, and then what we do resting forward.
I would have loved to see Lewis Young come into this side, knowing we're playing Melbourne and the defence they've got, and Lewis Young to sort of run around with Gawn and TDK to assist Curnow, as Andy sort of pointed out, to be that tall and that target up forward and to be that leader up the ground so Curnow doesn't have to sacrifice his game, just knowing that they got Lever and May down there. So I think it was a perfect game to bring in a Lewis Young to put a body on in the ruck and run around with Gawn.
Man, that's like, what's the lesser of two evils, Lewis Young or Caleb Marchbank at the moment? Far out.
Lewis Young almost took out Charlie Kerner last time he played up forward. Leave him at home.
I reckon
No,
you're a bit
well-
too harsh on Marchbank, bro. I reckon you're too harsh on Marchbank. Bloke's been out for a while. He's finding his feet. We're playing a fast style. So it's going to take him a bit to adjust to our... It's a pretty intense game plan. It's a very, very full-on game plan that we've got right now. A very intense system. So I think Marchbank just needs a bit of time and he'll come good. I'm very confident that he'll come good.
He's coming against big teams as well, big games. They weren't just like, shitty
Collingwood,
teams. So,
same.
yeah.
So,
So,
I'd love to be in a position where you're right, Andy, in maybe 3-4 weeks' time when McGovern knocks on the door and goes, well, I don't know if there's a spot for McGovern anymore.
Well, that's the beauty of it. We're about to find out. And it's
Yeah.
lucky that we've got McGovern, knocking on the door to come back in a few
it's
weeks.
good to have this problem.
Because if it doesn't
Yeah.
work out with Marchbank and we didn't have McGovern ready, then, man, we'd be in a pretty tough position. But I'm really confident in our defense.
Lucky Plowman.
By the way, I don't think I've ever heard the words Lucky and McGovern in the same sentence by us ever. Ever. So it's nice to have that point of difference now.
Only Carlton in the chat reckons it would be nice to have JSOS in the side right now.
Oh, yeah.
Massive.
Definitely. Yeah. But with the way that the forward line has been functioning over the last couple of weeks, who does he come in for? Who would he come in for?
I think that's going to be the biggest question. Like from his management now. Like if I'm his management, and this is more of a later conversation, but his, in terms of forward line, you've seen that Martin Cunningham sort of always that connection for the third and fourth sort of key forwards. So you got Charlie and Harry up there, of course, and then you got Martin playing slightly taller, and you got those players doing what he wasn't doing consistently, which is hitting the scoreboard regularly. And then his manager would probably say, well, okay, if you got TDK as your main ruck, is Peto going to be your backup? Am I only going to get a game when one of them goes down? I'll probably just explore my options elsewhere. So his management, rightly so, will be asking the question as well. This is what I give. Can you guarantee me one of these spots as well? So that'll be I think that discussion where does he fit in? Because he's been thrown around everywhere as utility. Does he play that? Are we too tall if we play him, Mackay, Charlie, resting ruckman, and then you have to squeeze one of the guys out in the forward line? Does he play a backup to TDK and Pito's out? You just signed Pito to 4 years. You're not going to not play TDK. So that's the question. Like it's a tough one, but that he's going to battle. He's going to give you 110%. So it's a hard one.
I reckon it hurt him signing Pito, and we only signed, again, opinion. I think we only signed Pito because we thought TDK was gone. So we're like, let's make sure we lock down at least one of them, and then work it out when we cross the bridge with TDK. And mate, we got to the bridge, he signed. So I reckon we're in a bit of a tough spot because Pito is amazing at his tap work, but around the grounds, man, Gawn is just gonna teach him a lesson this week.
Yeah.
Look, unless he has a ripper, and I hope he has a ripper, but.
Sorry, you dropped out there, George. What did you say?
Oh, sorry. No, I must have frozen there. But I was going to say, I really hope he can impact, right? Like tall players don't get shorter in the wet. I think it's going to be raining in the afternoon or maybe early in the evening, but tall players don't get shorter. So hopefully he can impact.
Hopefully he comes in with that form he had in the last quarter against the Saints and continues.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Had a great fourth quarter.
It was.
Yeah.
Let's look at the lineup. So we'll start with the Carlton's forward line. Half forward, Jack Martin, Tom De Koning, David Cunningham. Full forwards, Lockie Fogarty, Charlie Curnow, and Matthew Owies. Backline for Melbourne, Christian Salem, Stephen May, Trent Rivers, Jack Bowie, Jake Lever, Angus Brayshaw. Yum.
That's a good backline.
Low key, you just gave me anxiety by starting in the forward line.
Yeah, that was weird.
That felt so strange. Hey, we need Mackay, man. Harry Mackay is so important, man. And last week they showed Curnow was ragdolled the whole game, double teamed, and that's what they're going to do this week. They're just going to, especially Lever and May. Like,
do you just want to read Ruler's comment real quick?
He retracted it. I can't see it anymore.
Oh, he did too.
What did it say?
What did he say?
Some people stay short.
Oh, speaking of bombshells in the chat, now I don't know if there's any truth to this. I haven't really
Surely
seen
not.
anything, but J and H Carpenters reckons apparently Cripps is out. I don't know if that.
Nah,
Base or if he's-
Blasphemy.
he's
Blasphemy.
Aerated.
pissing in our pockets.
He's
Exactly.
aerating.
Just get him off.
J and H Carpenters. Give him 1 star on Google. I'm
Hey, I
joking.
tell you what. Hey,
Don't do
just
that.
before we
Didn't like it.
continue talking on about the team and the matchup, the chat is hot right now. To all those watching along, thank you. Love to see you here. And please subscribe. Thank you.
I had a quick look at the weather. It's going to be really wet, and they're going in really big. They're going in really tall. So
It's good.
This is where, like, if it is wet and it's wet ground, plenty of chaos balls, and I'll personally back our mids. Like, I'll back him in. Likely, I think they'll send Petrarca up forward. You got Fritsch out, you got Petty out. So I think he's been playing a little bit of time forward. So you're going to have a potentially underdone Oliver, Viney, and Brayshaw doing their heavy lifting. Obviously, Gorn is as well. And then if we limit their supply going forward with Fritsch and Petty out, we've got a huge chance. So very few clubs hold down Fritsch. He's a huge out. Like that's a big one. Like, we didn't really have a matchup for him last time we played them. Like he was getting a few marks, a couple of goals, and he does usually what he wants in the forward line. So I think it's a few chaos balls, anything can happen. So we've got to back a bit of a scrappy game, I reckon. But they've gone in pretty big.
Now,
someone wrote a comment earlier. Sorry, Emma. Someone wrote a comment. I think it was Cameron. Asked us, what do we do with Ed? Does Ed tag? Does he start and tag Oliver or even Petrarca? Do something with them. We don't have the midfield depth right now to match them, I think, around the grounds.
Well, he isn't starting.
He's emergency, so it's either
He's
going to be
emergency.
him or Boyd as the sub, you'd think.
Yeah.
And if it's either or, you'd probably expect it
You'd
to
go
be Ed.
Brenner. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
So
have a
if
defender,
they were
would you?
playing Boyd, I would have thought, come in at the start of the game, maybe put him on a picket or one of the the small forward. But if it's going to be a sub, you'd think it would be Ed, in a scrappy game to come in and he actually, his fourth quarter against the Saints is good. He set up the Kerno goal, kicking it in 50. He had the handball at the end to Akers to set up Akers' goal. So I think probably going to be Ed.
Yeah.
Could be, or it could even be a Jordan Boyd, just depending. Jordan Boyd would bring a lot of pace, and the weather forecast, to your point, and it doesn't look good at all. It's 1 to 5 mils, 95% probability of rain. So it's going to be wet. And yeah, this what Andy said just before. They've gone really tall. I don't know if that's going to play in their favor.
It's Melbourne. I said this last time. Remember, you said it was going to rain.
No,
Weather
this is a
changes
different. This is 95, 1 to 5. That's and it's only a couple of days out.
It'll change another 16 times before then.
Yeah, so will the sides.
Yeah.
Midfields. Carlton, Blake Acres, Paddy Cripps, Ollie Hollands. Man, what a game he had last week. Fully deserving of the Rising Star nomination.
About 12 weeks too late, to be honest.
100%. 100%. Following Mark Pittenay, Sam Doherty, George Hewitt, who's come back into some really, really good form. Very, very pleasing to see. Centre line for Melbourne, Lockie Hunter, Jack Finey, Alex Neil Bullen. Following Max Gorn, Clayton Oliver, and Kay Pickett. That's
They've got a good midfield.
They've got a very,
They've
very
got a sick
good
midfield. I wish we had Walsh and Chera. Cripps, Walsh, Chera. Mate,
Different
I'll back
story
us
altogether.
all day.
We've got
Yeah.
Paddy Dow, man. I'll watch their backs. Watch your goddamn back.
What did you guys think overall of Paddy Dow's game? Do you think?
Nazir in the comments, right? Put a bag of blow on Ed's shorts and Oliver will tag him.
Good call, mate.
Oh, this is why we love going live.
That's a good one.
How do you think Dow will stack up this week against a much stronger midfield outfit?
30 plus.
What did he get last week?
20 something.
27, I
Disposable,
think. 26,
Yeah.
I reckon. He had a ripper last quarter, man.
Yeah, that ripped that.
He
did.
literally matured right in front of ours.
That
And I hope
that
he builds on it, man.
that goal in the last quarter saved him from getting subbed. If anyone got an opportunity to watch the Voss presser, he admitted that if he didn't kick that goal in the last, he would have been the sub for Ed Curnow.
22 touches, 1 goal.
There we go. Thanks, guys. Lou and only Carlton for putting that up. Cheers. On paper, they've definitely got the stronger midfield at the moment, but how strong is our system? Mus, you're a big fan of the system. You have been for a while now. How do you think it will go?
I think if it's scrappy, we'll be right. I think if it is a clear game, I think the class of the D's midfield probably might run over the top of us. And I'd love to see Dow get a bit more experience and confidence. He just needs a little bit of support. I don't know. Maybe you start Ed. I like it in the midfield at the moment, just with the no experience. You know, the no Walsh, the no Kennedy as well, and the no Chera. I don't know. I like it in that midfield at the moment, and it sort of showed in that last quarter. Raining, we win. If it's nice and clear, then I think the D's midfield, a little bit too experienced, a little bit too much class and finesse, and they'll sort of be all over us. And I think the biggest one, I don't know. I've just got this feeling that Pitternet won't get up for this game. Don't know. You heard it here first. If he doesn't,
What
What
makes
makes
you
you
say
say
that?
that?
What do you know?
don't know. I've just got this feeling Pitternet doesn't get up for this game.
Stop jinxing it, man. This guy. Stop it.
If he doesn't
I don't
play,
think that's a bad
we're
thing.
screwed.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though. I think if it's a wet game, I wouldn't mind seeing someone else, Lewis Young, throw a body on in the ruck. It showed in those few games. I think there was 2 or 3 games where we lost the tap outs and we won by 60 points. So I don't think it's a defining stat. So if Pitternet's only good for tap work, well, he's a liability everywhere else. I
But
shouldn't
you
be
know,
saying that. We got him for
Gordon's
4
not
years.
gonna Gordon's not going to ragdoll him like he would Young, though. That's why Gordon will have his way with Young. I reckon.
Simon's going to
but
come in.
Young will be effective around the ground as well.
Will he?
Yeah, absolutely. Ground ball, Young's good.
I just
Pitternet's
think
gonna play,
against
man.
Gawn and Grundy. Yeah, against Gawn and Grundy, you got to play your number 1 ruck. You just have to. You can't take a punt.
Silvani.
Lewis Young, from what I've seen this year, man, every time that guy has gotten the ball, he's looked like a deer in headlights. He just freezes and just doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
look, the
quickly,
system.
hello,
The
George from
system's there.
Greece. Thanks for tuning in from Greece. Pretty cool.
Yasu.
Papiso from Melbourne.
Ευχαριστώ.
Kalimera. Yeah, go
Sounds
on.
like a pizza.
Anyway. Power
System.
through everything.
Greek classes.
How do you say system in Greek? Someone put it in the comments.
Arhidia. No, wait, that's balls.
Yeah,
Sorry. Oh, moving on, guys.
We've just offended a whole nation.
We're talking about the system. I back it. I'm definitely on a system train. I just think the Melbourne midfield has a little bit too much class. But hey,
Class
let's see how the
nothing,
system
bro.
goes.
I'm so confident again. I honestly think we are just going to fucking wreck them. Like all this talk about like this and that. Bro, I get it. We're injured and we're playing Melbourne. But look how we're playing. We are smashing teams at contested ball. We are smashing teams in clearance work. I just think we're going to wreck them. I honestly think we're just going to wreck them. I don't care who we play. I'm so confident in how we're playing. You know what? If we lose playing the way we're playing, so be it. At least we're having a proper crack and we're giving ourselves a full chance to beat anyone. So I'm really confident. I'm not worried at all. And their ins to me show me that they're petrified. They are petrified. Grundy isn't getting a touch in the, and they're bringing him in for us. I don't know, man. It's just not. Yeah, I look at Melbourne and I smell fear.
Peter V. Bluebagger reckons we've got nothing to lose. And to be honest, I think he's right. We've got 2 fantastic opportunities coming up after Melbourne in Gold Coast Suns and also GWS here at Marvel in round 24. Fucking 6:10 p.m. on a Sunday night, which makes no sense. But anyway, we'll talk about that another time.
Take your sleeping bags.
Would would Voss and Nazi made this point that Voss is probably happy to concede this game. Do you guys think that would be the case?
Nah.
Nah, no chance.
Winners mentality.
Nah,
Like, look,
yeah.
it like to a lot of the fan base and the media, it's sort of a free hit because we've got the other two games, but they're just as dangerous as well, right? So you've got to make this one count. It's another primetime game. Hopefully, we're not scared of the dark this time. Saturday night. But mate, home game. I'm looking forward to another home game at the G, and I think we're going to like the crowd's going to be out. I don't think they'll have that many fans at the game. Mount Hotham is expecting a great weekend of snow.
Yeah.
So the return of your mate Charlene, Amal. You already know how that convo is going to go. Charlene, please pack my RMs in the Range Rover. And Charlene's, oh, Henry, are we not attending the football with the Windsors? No, I suppose we
What's
must
going on?
watch it by the
Are we still alive?
watch it by the fire with a nice charcuterie board.
Are we done? Are we done?
You already know how the combo will go.
Where the hell did Andy go?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let them go watch the game. They're all going to be watching it at Mount Hotham in their villas, mate. It's all right. We're going to be out and about. Bring your voice.
Nazir, I just said, don't tell Oliver the snow is good.
Loving the banter.
Oh, yes.
A bit of friendly banter. Yeah, but no, I think you've got a point there, George. I don't think there's going to be much of a crowd there. The Melbourne supporter base is either going to be up in the Alps here in Victoria, or Swiss Alps or the French Alps. So
Yeah, they don't like, go to games when it rains, and if the weather's slightly off, then
Can't get those RM Williams wet, huh?
no. Even though they're the most durable shoe fucking out there, but hey, don't want to get them wet. Anyway.
Jason Gaffey, absolutely put your life savings on Carlton this week, mate. Just gamble responsibly, yes. If you're broke, easy, bro. Steal from your kids. Open your kids' piggy banks. Just crack open that piggy bank. Tell them that Christmas is coming early when the Blues get up.
Gamble responsibly and don't steal your kids' money.
We don't condone this.
This is our what? I think there's another 2 home games at the G after this.
For who?
For us.
No.
Yeah, we're going to September.
Yeah. Yeah, we get the first week of finals because we're going to finish 5th, and I reckon the prelim easy.
I finish 4th.
I wish.
Anyway, moving on. Carlton's backline: Alex Chincotta, Jacob Wiedering, Adam Sard, Nick Newman, Caleb Marchbank, and Brody Kemp. For Melbourne, Christian Petrarca, Joel Smith, Cade Chandler, Jake Melksham, Jacob Van Rooyen, and James Jordan.
Where's Petrarca?
Half forward.
Okay.
Yep. Our backline has been solid. It's been stingy, as Buckley likes to say. It has been defending at an elite level, that of which the rest of the comp has not been able to keep up with. I think they'll do a pretty good job of that forward line, especially without Petty and with Grundy coming back, who's not a natural forward. I think their forward line might struggle against our back line, but in the same way, they've also got a fantastic back line. So, where is the game going to be won here, gentlemen?
Midfield.
Yeah.
Limit the entries. Get Belzer forward. Small's got to play a big part.
It's going to be midfield and off that back line how we work, like we did last week.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, let's have a look at predictions, and I'll kick it off with mine. So I'll start with the winning margin, best on ground, and leading goal kicker. Winning margin, I reckon I'm a little confident about this just because of the weather and Melbourne's ins. I reckon we'll win by 3 or 4 goals. It is going to be a day for our smalls, especially if it's wet. I reckon one of either Jack Martin, Lockie Fogarty, or Matty Owies, or maybe even all 3 of them will have multiple goals, especially if it's wet. The pressure that we can bring around the ball will force Melbourne into a lot of errors. they haven't faced this kind of pressure just yet. And we'll be able to get the ball into our forwards who'll be able to do a job. Leading goal kicker, I'm going to say Matty Owies.
How many?
Very good.
3. Carl.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling too confident, but I think we win. I still think we win this one. I reckon we win by 9 points. 9 points for me. Motlop, leading goal scorer. For me, I reckon he's been live in that forward line, been doing well. And as for BOG, I don't know, man. I might go Nick Newman. He's been producing some ripper games in the last few weeks, and I don't know, honestly, I think he might be the man to be BOG. What about you, Moss?
I concur with the Motlop. Motlop's going to kick 4 goals. He's going to be electric down there. It's going to be a really good game. The lead's going to change multiple times. System will prevail based on the game being a really scrappy game. Carlton will win by 9 points, and BOG, I've got Cottrell. Cottrell is going to get more than 20. He's probably going to get 24, 25 touches.
Nice.
Yeah, go with that. George.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go Blues by 4, and Jesse Motlop to break their hearts like Cozzy broke ours last year, right at the death to snag the lead. Low scoring, scrappy game. I reckon highest goal scorer Jack Martin with 3. And I'm not tipping against us for the rest of the year. Fuck it, I'm confident.
I love it.
Ripping the band-aid off. And I think Cripps will just. I think he'll have a big one. I think he'll rally the boys. He'll put the team on his back, and he'll really put on a clinic. So yeah, I think it's going to be a low-scoring, scrappy affair. But hey, we'll take it, man, as long as we get the 4 points. But if we win, it would be absolutely monumental.
Huge.
Like I said, it means we would have beaten 3 out of the top 4 sides, and then obviously Saints who were 5th, like in the last 5 weeks. So that's huge. That is huge.
You know what that would mean, George?
Do tell.
8 on the trot.
Do it, Mus. Do it.
I was waiting for you to do it.
Don't do it till we win. Don't do it till we win.
Yeah, no. George, you said 4. Was that 4 goals or 4 points?
4 points.
4
points.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
Motlop to kick the last one.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be hot.
After the siren,
Like
or
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I want them to feel what we felt when Cozzy kicked that goal. I don't even want to think about it, but not that they will like ours. They'll be enjoying their cheese board and Mount Hotham. That's fine, but still, I want to get a bit of payback.
Yeah, I reckon we smash them. I reckon I'm gonna say, because it's wet, I'll be fair. I'll say 30 plus. I'm not gonna say 50, which is what we would do in the dry. But man, honestly, they played us last time with our slump, and they couldn't even kick a winning score against us. Like, what did they score? 60?
61.
And they haven't been they're winning games, but they're not winning convincingly. Man, they were getting smashed by North last week. So I just reckon this is easy money for us. Contest the ball in the wet. Best on ground, I'm going to say George Hewitt, and I reckon George is going to have 12 tackles. I'm putting him. He's going to be a tackle machine, and I think we are going to smash them physically this week. I think the game is going to be won physically. We are going to intimidate them and bully them. I don't care if they're bigger than us. We're not going to let them breathe. And most goals, you know what? Fuck it. TDK, 5 goals. TDK,
has he kicked 5 in his career?
ruined everything that he said.
Absolute bag this week. He's gonna make Grundy accountable. And Grundy can't play forward and he can't play defense. So, mate, TDK is going to have a blinder. Put everything on it.
What is a blinder?
Cameron B in the chat reckons Carlton will win by 7. Ollies will kick 4 and Dal will get 32 touches. Nazi reckons Blues by 33, Charlie 4, Motlop 3, and Martin 2. That's a big one. Ibim reckons Blues by 110. That seems reasonable.
I like the
Jason-
enthusiasm.
Jason Gaffey reckons Carlton by 25. Grandpa Ed with the lazy 40 touches as the sub. That's interesting. And 4 goals. And best believe Andy to have a scrap with a bunch of Melbourne supporter Eshays with Kathman do jackets on.
Why am I always involved in this? Like in the violence? I'm a nice guy.
And you sniffing stuff, aren't you?
I'm on the old Clayton Oliver.
Allegedly.
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 Oh, gents, I'm excited. I think this is the most confident, maybe borderline cocky that we've been all season. And to be honest, it's bloody warranted. We've had a fantastic period of footy, and it doesn't look like it's going to drop off. If there was any week for it to drop off, it would have been last week against the Saints, where we had half of our midfield out and key people out from other areas of the ground. So if it didn't happen last week against what was a full strength Saints, it's not going to happen this week against a Melbourne who decided to bring in Brodie Grundy, who has been sitting in the VFL earning $800,000 a year. So I feel like they're scared. The lid is definitely off, Julian. Thank you. I've lost it. I've lost all of my lids. And it is going to be a freaking awesome game this week. I'm very, very excited. It's good to have another home game. We haven't had a home game at the MCG in ages, so it'll be good to sit back at our seats. I can't wait to see the Karen behind us. That should be interesting.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
yes.
For everyone tuning in, she threatened me. She's like, "I'll call the nuisance or whatever the behavior,
Antisocial
number.
behavior.
Antisocial behavior."
That was the
we all
Bombers
had a
game.
bit of- That was the Bombers game.
For some context, that was when Charlie Curnow and Matty always decided to go out for the same ball, and then they both bailed last
Yes,
second.
and that's when I lost it.
Yeah.
And she's like, enough. I'll call the number. I'll fucking call the number, you dog.
She's probably watching.
That was like the literal low point of the season. I think you could actually hear like 40 or 50,000. Oh, like you could just hear the hearts breaking. It's like that Ralph Wiggum scene in Simpsons, It was horrible.
It was disgusting. And
I don't have to hear this. I don't have to hear this anymore.
Go home, man. Go out the footy. What do you expect?
Oh,
That's great.
For all those who joined on, I think this is the highest we've had as far as viewing is concerned on the live. We've had 58.
62.
61, yeah.
62. There you go. 62.
Yeah.
Man, I can't.
Love you all.
That's
Big
huge
time.
for us. Like,
Big
man,
time.
let's be real. We started this podcast as a laugh.
3 months ago, literally.
we were just depressed. We were a bunch of depressed.
This was a feeling dump. That's what it was.
literally.
Emotional dumping ground.
So this is so awesome, man.
Yeah, big time.
Appreciate you
Big
guys.
time. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the engagement.
Much love.
Will
One
Curious
love, one
George
love.
be out and about this week?
I don't know.
If it's not raining? If it's
We'll
not
see.
raining?
Yeah, I'll have to come up with a couple of Melbourne gags and whatnot. And yeah, I'll be out. I'll be out in the rain. I'll wear my rain jacket. Fuck it. I'll be out. It's all right.
In.
Get around us.
In.
Where will be outside gate 3?
4.
Yeah, that's where we'll be. Yep, outside gate 3. That's where we'll
3 or
enter
4.
in. So,
Work it out.
That's
gentlemen,
a G. It is a G. Yes.
Let's
Yep.
G up, man. Seriously, I'm so G'd. I just want to smash another team, man.
I can't wait.
I'm so ready to just shut the haters up, because it's always something. It's always an excuse. Let's just bring them on and we'll knock them down, man. I don't give a fuck. And you know what, bro? If we go down this week, we're gonna fuck whoever's next. So I'm down. I'm so down. I'm so excited. G up, man. This is it. This is what we've wanted. Is this not what we've wanted? We wanted a competitive team. Let's not get fucking all shy now. Let's smash teams, man.
We are the big boys, as you said.
We are the big boys now.
We are the big boys now.
Say it sexy, Moss. I mean, Andy. Say it sexy.
Say my name.
Feel it. All right, gents, this is getting out of hand. I'm going to wrap this up. from the Monday
This is why we
Blues.
shouldn't go live.
From the Monday Blues, this is sayonara until the review. Actually, I should be saying. For all those watching along, thank you very much. We are extremely grateful that you guys came along to the live. We'll see you at the next one, and we will see you at the review. Until then,
Up the
have a
bag
great
ads.
night. Enjoy the win, the
Go the
upcoming
Baggers.
win against the D's, and we will see you at the review.
Baggers.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Smash the
No,
dogs.
no.
Nice.
Good one.
Nice.
That was really good.
Right.